Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started for today. Thank you to everyone for joining us this afternoon. Welcome to this WF&FSA session, Introducing WF&FSA Institute, or Reintroducing WF&FSA Institute. My name is Janette Wysocki, WF&FSA Education Coordinator, and one of your co-presenters today. Before we begin, we do have one housekeeping note. If you have questions as we go through the presentation, please type it into the Q&A box. And as Joanna said, if we have time at the end, we can unmute you for questions. At the end of the formal presentation, we'll answer all of your questions. Let me formally introduce myself. I joined WF&FSA in July of last year as the education coordinator. I was previously a classroom science teacher and department head. My expertise is in curriculum and instructional course design.
And my name is Joanna Truitt, WF&FSA Director for Education. I'll be co-presenting with Janette this afternoon, and we're happy to have you here. And again, looking forward to giving you some additional information, hopefully on WF&FSA Institute, and also answering any of your questions that you might have, particularly for those of you that are already users. We do have 3 objectives for the session. The first objective for the webinar is, like Janette said, just to do a reintroduction to the learning management system and explain a little bit how the subscriptions work. Our second objective will cover the learning management system's features, including libraries, learning paths, and the WF&FSA custom content that's available to you and what's planned for in the future. And then finally, we'll do a brief overview of some of the tools that are available for training coordinators, including creating learning accounts, assigning courses, and then generating reports. So real quickly, we just want to do a review as to why WF&FSA Institute and what it is. So again, the what is very clear. It's an e-learning program, and it's designed to ensure that all of our member organizations, regardless of the size of their budget, as long as they have an internet connection, we're in a position to be able to offer affordable, quality, and relevant industry education content. We can also offer members the opportunity to enhance or to augment their onboarding programs and training and employee development programs. And WF&FSA Institute also provides employees anytime, anywhere access to online interactive coursework, and particularly coursework that WF&FSA is designing. And then the last is that the nice thing about WF&FSA Institute is that it can be managed by either the subscriber or by the designated training coordinator for each member association. So this kind of leads very nicely into the subscription options. There are 2. The first is an individual subscription, and it's truly just that. So if a WF&FSA organization wanted to promote WF&FSA Institute, but didn't necessarily want to have to identify a training coordinator, those who are working for your company can actually purchase an individual subscription. When they create their account, we'll just verify that their company is in fact a member. And at that point, they'll fall under the WF&FSA Institute logo and banner, and we will assign their account to them. And once their account is assigned, the individual can then manage their own training, meaning that there's no one from their association that needs to create an account, assign courses to them, or manage their progress through that account or through those courses. Those subscriptions are good for 12 months from the date of purchase. and the cost is $49 per person, and that $49 then is renewed annually. The second subscription we have, which I know some of you have taken advantage of, is a corporate subscription. And again, the corporate subscription is just that. It is for one of our member organizations that will identify someone within the organization to serve as the training coordinator. So again, we realize that, you know, our members are varying in size and not all have the resources to have a dedicated individual to just manage training. But in the case of WF&FSA Institute, for this particular subscription, one person does need to be identified. And the reason they're identified as such, and Janette will get into it a little bit, but it's a training coordinator who's given privileges within WF&FSA Institute to be able to manage training on behalf of the member organization. It's incredibly cost effective. Again, the $49 subscription rate, and you'll notice there's not a difference between the corporate subscription rate and the individual subscription rate. And the reason for that is that WF&FSA is in fact contributing budgetarily to WF&FSA Institute and the cost of the program. And so in fact, each subscription is subsidized, and the WF&FSA board has consciously made that decision, again, to make sure that this benefit is affordable for everyone. So again, as I said, the training coordinator manages all the processes. Your employees will log in through a customized portal. But where the advantage is that here, it's one seat can be reassigned for each subscription. So in the corporate subscriptions, if you purchase 2 subscriptions, for example, you could rotate up to 4 employees in and out of those 2 seats that you have. So 1 employee, you know, for each seat, 2 employees might be assigned a series of courses. When those series of courses are completed, you would inactivate those employees and assign 2 more to that seat. So again, that's where the additional value comes in for the corporate subscription. Again, like the individual subscription, the corporate subscriptions are good for 12 months from the date of purchase. We expire all subscriptions on the last day of the month. So if you purchased it on November 1st, for example, it would actually expire on November 30th, 2021. And we automatically send an invoice 60 days before the subscription does expire so that you can have uninterrupted service. So at this point, I'll turn it over to Janette to talk a little bit about how the system actually works and what you'll receive for your subscription.
Thank you, Joanna. As Joanna mentioned, with your corporate subscription, we create a branded login page for you that includes your logo and colors, as well as a customized URL for you to access WF&FSA Institute. Only your learners will have access to this site. We also match your brand colors as well as best as I can. Let's start with the featured playlists. They're available on your homepage. Courses in these playlists include industry-specific content in the WF&FSA playlist, as well as course offerings and course offering professional development by job function, including contents for manager, sales, HR, purchasing, and marketing personnel. In addition, we've identified courses to augment training for warehouse personnel and help develop Microsoft skills. The professional development courses are presented in a video format, typically 8 to 10 minutes in length, and in some instances include short assessments. There are any number of these course titles that are perfect for onboarding new employees and/or providing those new to their task, like sales or marketing, with educational content that will help them refine and sharpen their skills. WF&FSA has created its first industry-specific course, Flower Care and Handling. Additional industry courses are slated for 2021. WFSA course content is organized by learning objective and designed to be highly interactive to keep the learner engaged. After the content for each learning objective has been covered, the system prompts a response to one or more knowledge checks to help reinforce learning. The flower care and handling course and assessment has been translated to Spanish and is available for you to assign to yourself or your employees. There are several hundred workplace safety courses available for you to self-select or assign to your employees. This content lends itself nicely to the nature of your business. You might find several of the topic areas we've highlighted here with arrows beneficial. Based on feedback from WFSA members, we created several playlists available to all learners, including this one on transportation safety. This would be good for your drivers. We also put together playlists for workplace safety that may be encountered in the floral industry. Bloodborne pathogens on the left and first aid on the right. This will help you keep your employees safe and ensure they know how to treat emergency situations until help arrives. You can also complement your forklift and pallet lift training courses dedicated to safely operating the equipment with these courses in a special playlist on forklift and pallet lifts. There are literally thousands of course titles available through WFSA Institute. The content we have access to is reviewed by our provider regularly, with several hundred new titles added each year and several hundred courses annually refreshed or retired. Our LMS provider, Biz Library, also creates something called curated learning paths. To find a curated learning path to help your employees add new skills, you can sort through the course or through the paths. One way to do that is through the topic area. Begin sorting course titles using the filters on the left side of the screen. The best way to use this tool is to filter by skill level. In this instance, there are 10 customer service titles at the beginner level, 10 at the intermediate, and 7 at the expert. This provides you with an opportunity to easily assign all beginner, intermediate, or advanced titles on a specific topic to your learner based on their skill level. It also provides you the opportunity to select and assign a progressive series of courses taking the learner through each level. To view the curated learning paths, you can select, well, what the screen shows is just a few of the curated learning paths available in Biz Library. To see all, you would select the View All. For more available curated learning paths. You also now have access to many of the same titles that are available in English, available in Spanish and French. To access these courses, click on the desired topic and then languages. This is from the WFSA Institute page on wfsa.org. So to see the list of titles, and what we show you there is curated learning path, or I'm sorry, curated playlist that we put together for you. You can see the entire list of titles by job function from the WFSA Institute page, or you can also see the Spanish and French crosswalk courses available. When you purchase a corporate subscription, we will send you a training coordinator reference guide with step-by-step directions and screenshots for each of the tasks shown on the left. The picture on the right shows you how we will indicate where you need to go once you're in. So we use screenshots and arrows to help you navigate. This is an abbreviated version of directions for adding a learner found in the training coordinator reference guide. If you don't find the answers you need in the guide, simply contact us and we will help you navigate the LMS. Also from the training coordinator reference guide, there are directions for assigning courses to learners. You can see directions are step-by-step and include screenshots to help you. As training coordinator, you can run a variety of reports to monitor your learners' progress. Reports can be downloaded to Excel for dissemination to team members and leadership. When learners successfully complete courses, they will receive a certificate of completion. It will be sent to the training coordinator for a corporate subscription for you to print and deliver to your employees. You can even make it a team celebration.
And actually too, the WF&FSA custom content library will be growing. Working with subject matter experts, we plan on developing courses in a variety of industry-specific content. This shows the possible upcoming titles. The courses we'll be working on next are understanding the distribution chain, growth cycle of a rose, and shipping modes of transportation. When you're ready to get started, we encourage you to go to the WF&FSA Institute page at wfsa.org for more information and to make your purchases. And you can reach out to either Janette or myself directly or through the education@wfsa.org email. Again, as Janette indicated, we're here to answer your questions and also to help you through the process. So what we'd like to do at this point, Janette, if you want to unmute folks, and you can either ask your question directly as it relates to WF&FSA Institute, or you can add your question into the chat or the Q&A feature.
I am going through and clicking allow to talk. However, I do see that the majority of microphones are turned off. So if you do have a question, make sure you turn your microphone on.
I think one of the things we like about the program that we're using in WF&FSA Institute is just the depth of content that's available. Our partner, as Janette had indicated, is a company called Biz Library. And Biz Library has been in the professional development, course development business for probably about 50 years or so. And they have evolved over time. And, you know, again, kind of the neat thing about those professional development courses is that they're short. Most of them are around 8 to 12 minutes long. Some are a little bit longer. They're video based, and because they're offered in multiple languages, you know, we're really able to cover a wide variety of members. So there were two questions. One question from Stasa, as you mentioned, rotating 2 employees in and out. What does that mean? Only one of our employees can train online at a time? Absolutely. So if you'd like to train more employees at the same time, then you might want to purchase some additional subscriptions. But the way the subscription is set up, the model is set up is that, again, for $49, you have 1 seat, and you can rotate up to 2 people in and out of that seat at any one time. And again, it just it has a lot to do with, you know, the modest pricing that we're offering to members to make it affordable. And then there was a second question from Dewey about, are the courses ranked and rated with so many choices? They definitely are. Biz Library uses a 5-star rating system. And in fact, when you are looking for courses that might not be in the curated learning path, and Janette actually is going through an online demonstration now, you'll notice that there are a number of stars that are associated with a number of the courses. And again, these ratings actually come from end users. So there are thousands of individuals that have access to the same content as WF&FSA. And again, many of those learners do rate the courses after they're completed.
And yeah, I was pulling that up while you were answering, because I did want to show that you can select the higher rated courses when you're looking for courses as well.
The one thing that's interesting, if you could show the curated learning paths that we talked about, you know, again, kind of the neat thing here too is that, you know, you can pick your topic, you can pick your skill level, you can really begin zeroing in on those course titles that you think would have the most benefit for a particular employee or group of employees. And the courses that we've put in the playlists, again, those are courses, you know, those are our courses, for example, you know, right here, again, Janette went to the human resources courses that were available. But in the curated learning path, we've actually gone through many of these titles and identified a couple that we thought our members would have the most interest in.
And some of the HR courses are SHRM accredited.
Yep. Any other questions, particularly from those who are using the system or have been in the system? One of the questions, another question, can a sales team at a branch train online together under one individual subscription? No, so if you'd like to, you know, have your whole sales team train at the same time, actually the program is set up beautifully to do that. You would purchase multiple subscriptions then. So if you had, for example, 6 in your sales team, you might want to purchase 6 subscriptions. You can actually assign each one of those individuals to the sales team. You can determine what courses that sales team would take. And once the courses are identified, you can assign them to the team. So the system makes it very, very easy for team training. And again, given the fact that a lot of the professional development content is relatively short in duration. So on the screen that's up right now, you can see that, hiring in a diverse workforce is 11 minutes. There's another one that's 2 minutes, one that's 9. You probably want to assign about a half a dozen or more courses. Some of them actually fall into a series. So you would assign the entire series. And again, done very easily with the Teams function in WF&FSA Institute. So one of the questions is if we could live stream one of the courses, and we can do that. I think, Janette, when you go to share your screen, stop sharing for a minute. And when you go to share your screen, you'll see a checkbox at the bottom of the page as it relates to the video, just so any of the video comes through.
Right. And while I'm pulling up a video, I did just want to mention that many of these courses offer a certificate. So when the employee or the learner completes it, they'll get a certificate at the end. All right, can you see the video?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Human trafficking is a massive criminal enterprise, generating billions of dollars in worldwide profits. It's a modern-day form of slavery, and it will take the cooperation of law enforcement and alert observers in order to bring an end to this horrible practice. As an employee in the hospitality industry, you're on the front lines and may encounter situations that raise your suspicions, so you have to educate yourself on the potential signs of human trafficking.
Could you hear the sound?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's an example of one. Many of the biz library courses will have questions throughout the video. So it just depends on what course you're taking.
Thank you.
Oh, could we show them a snippet of the care and handling course?
Yes, absolutely. Oh no.
It's marked as complete. Just something a little bit different about the courses that we're developing, the industry content specific courses. Essentially, we have designed the courses to be more traditional in nature. So they'll be probably anywhere between 30 to 50 minutes in length. They will have learning objectives that are clearly defined and identified. The content will be organized by learning objective. And after content for each learning objective has been presented, there'll be what we call knowledge checks. And then after the course is completed, there'll be a short assessment for that particular industry course. So again, they're a little bit different than the courses designed by this library, and just looks like I think there were two issues here. One, we had the course marked as complete in this particular account, but the courses are again designed to be highly interactive. So there's a lot of clicking that needs to be done by the learner, which again, just keeps individuals engaged. There are exercises through the course. So for example, when we're talking about the parts of the flower are listed on one side of the screen, and the flowers listed on the other. And the learner actually has to identify each part. So again, the intent here is to do what we can to facilitate learning, recognizing that there are a lot of different learning styles. The courses that we're developing also have voiceover as well. So again, it's the voiceover that is in another language, not necessarily the text on a page. And Janette, that's okay, we're good.
Okay, you do have another question.
Is it possible to pursue course videos, peruse course videos before buying subscriptions? In all honesty, again, I'll be honest with you, at $49 for a subscription, we will vouch for the content and just let you know that, the content is very well produced, and it is up to date.
To see the list, they can go to that WF&FSA.org page, WF&FSA Institute, and see the list of courses as well.
Yep, absolutely. So there's another question. So at this time, there is one available course that is floral industry specific. That is correct. Yes, there is more to come in 2021. By the end of 2021, we'll have the 3 courses that we identified. It was the understanding distribution chain, the growth cycle of a rose, and shipping modes of transportation will be done.
Those 3.
Yep, those 3. Yep. And so, yes, so for now, the general playlist is available to everyone. And that's all part of the subscription price. Any other questions? We're seeing no additional questions. Again, we definitely don't want to keep you longer than need be, but we will make a copy of this recording available on the website, probably up on the website, if not by tomorrow, definitely by Monday. But again, please feel free to reach out to either Janette or I. And Janette, if you just want to pull up that screen real quick that has the education email address. And then, Janette, we've kind of got a blue block that we just, there we go, perfect. So again, just email us at education@wfsa.org and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. And we very much appreciate you joining us this afternoon, and hope we've given you some new information about the program and at least kind of piqued your interest enough to give it a try and purchase a subscription. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.